As you know, murders and other violent crimes often make the news and get our attention. Crime is on the rise, and there are no signs of things getting better. The question is, what needs to be done to lower the crime rate in our country?
I think we can find the answer in the death penalty, which I am an advocate for. I believe it is an effective crime deterrent, but the problem is that we are not using it anymore.
I don't agree with you. How can you be so sure that the death penalty deter criminals?
When we do nothing, we cannot deter crime. I think there isn't a better way to prevent crime in our social system.
I know what you mean, but do you think that serial killers like Yu Young-chul think about the death penalty before they commit crimes? I think the answer is no. It certainly doesn't seem to cause mentally ill psychopaths to pause and think before they kill. They give no thought to the consequences of their actions. What I mean is that no one knows for sure whether the death penalty can be a crime deterrent or not.
You may be right. The death penalty may not be a crime deterrent. However, I personally believe in its importance. More than that, what matters is that current laws are too lenient. Therefore, we need to take a firm stand to fight crime and have strict measures to punish criminals. This would include the death penalty for those who commit violent crimes such as murder and rape and other inhumane crimes against members of society.
How can you be so sure that our laws are lenient? On what basis can you say that? You also need to think about the human rights of criminals.
Don't you watch TV? Everybody says the current justice system is too lenient on criminals. You can't compare ours with those of other countries. There are countries overseas like China that enforce very strict laws and are successful at keeping their crime rates down. I believe capital punishment works there.
Well, I see it differently. The problem with capital punishment is that it completely devalues the life of the murdered person. I think it's totally inhumane. Do you think criminals should be put to death because they killed somebody? It does not make any sense. For example, if the punishment for stealing is having your hand cut off, do you think that is justice? I know this is a bit extreme, but it would not bring justice to our society.
You are missing the point. We don't want a system of justice where people say an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. What I'm saying is that not every person who kills should be put to death. But those criminals who ruthlessly kill people for no reason should be removed from society. By being given the death penalty. In that way, at least, they will never have the chance to kill innocent people again.
I know people want the death penalty because they feel that criminals deserve to die. But I would like to ask what the consequences of the death penalty on our society are. Is it really necessary to kill criminals to show that killing people is wrong?
Let's just say you're right. Then what is the best alternative punishment for serious criminals? And what can we do about people like serial killers? Don't say that a life sentence in prison can do the job. To them, life in prison means just like a house where they can spend the rest of their lives. Why should my taxes be spent paying for all of those facilities? It's not logical.
Many people feel that the death penalty saves taxpayers money because it is cheaper to execute criminals than to keep them in prison for the rest of their lives. But I don't think that is true. As far as I know, the death penalty is much more expensive than life imprisonment. In fact, studies show that administering the death penalty is more expensive than keeping someone in prison for life.
What study are you talking about? Please show me some specific data, or tell me where it comes from. If you can't, don't mislead us with insufficient information. Anyway, I truly believe a life sentence means nothing to most murderers. I would like to ask a question to those people who say that the death penalty is cruel and inhumane.
What if you're a victim of a crime? Could you forgive the criminal? Most victims and victims' family members suffer serious mental and physical damage because of the crime that was committed. If you're in their situation, you can't even imagine how terrible it is. If you're in their situation, you will not dare to say that you forgive the murderer and you do not want the murderer to be executed. I strongly insist that all ruthless murderers be killed immediately.